Hello and welcome back to Connected, the show that connects you with what's going on in Peterborough and the Kawartha Lakes. We have some special episodes coming up for you in the next few weeks, but on today's episode, we catch up with Irish Millie, and I'll take you on a haunted historical tour of the Settlers Village. But first, we visited Dagmar Pinney at the Daisy Art Studio in downtown Lindsay.
There's no better feeling than when somebody comes and buys one of your paintings. You feel proud and you feel happy about it. There's a lot of years of learning and practice and studying, and somebody told me once, you're so talented, but it's not talent. Like anything, you practice over and over and over again, you're going to get good at. Doesn't matter if it's sports or art or whatever, cooking, whatever. Practice makes perfect. So it's not just innate talent. Hi, my name is Dagmar Pinney, and I am an artist. I started art in about the 1990s. I started with woodworking and folk art painting, and it just evolved from there. At one point I wanted to do a pen and ink of my home and realized I couldn't draw a straight line. So I took some night courses, and through those night courses, I still couldn't draw a straight line. The instructor started teaching a little bit of water and ink, and I just fell in love with the way the water reacted with the ink, and therefore I started taking watercolor courses for about 3 or 4 years, and that's how I got into watercolor. In painting, I love landscapes, and especially birch trees. Birch trees inspire me, and if you look at my art, you'll see a lot of birch trees. Nature, landscape, flowers, as you can see, like even this was a blank canvas, which I started from nothing, and I know my husband said, I don't want any flowers right there on this edge, and I said, well, you golf, I garden. So when he came back, it was all done. But that's always been my passion. It started with gardening. I do watercolor, but I also do acrylics, and the acrylic is a little more forgiving medium, because when you make a mistake, you can just paint over it, whereas watercolor, it's not that easy. I'm very, very attracted to color, bold colors, and with acrylic, I can get some really bold colors. I've done commissions of dogs for my friends, or they'll tell me something that they want painted. My strong suit is not faces, but I have worked at it. I'm going to try to get better at that. Art subject that I want to delve into is some Chinese art, because it's the water and the ink, and because of the pandemic, there was no way of taking any courses in that. Well, I was a special needs teacher for 30 years, and the students that I worked with were mentally handicapped, autistic, or Downs, and I found art was a way of reaching them. In fact, one of my students, I am so proud of him. I taught him from grade 2 to grade 5. He could draw just about anything or copy just about anything. So I knew he had some talent, and teaching him to paint opened a door for him. He actually, at 17, just had his own showing. I am beyond proud of him. A few kids that have gone on, like one's gone into high school and she's really into art. She's won awards, and I'm so proud to be part of the beginning of that. She's better than I am. Yeah, yeah.
That's a big compliment.
It is. It's a feel-good moment for sure. 6 to 14 seems to be the age that I teach, and I also teach some adults. They're a fun age, the kids, and I so enjoy watching them. Having taught for 30-some years, going into the art was like my need to be with kids. We have a lot of fun together, even cookie time halfway through. That's my break. Yeah, their break. They get a break while their painting's drying. For the kids, it's awesome. My saying always is, there are no mistakes in art, and they repeat that. What did I say? Because when they complain, no mistakes in art. And I love when they have completed something, because I do step by step. It's a gradual thing, and they can see the painting build. It changes their I can't to I can do this, or wow, look what I did, and holy moly. It's like, they're so impressed and so proud of themselves and can't wait to show their parents that it is a good feeling. I have a couple of adult students right now, and it is wow. you're a really good teacher. And I mean, that's a pat on my back, but they're proud of what they do, and they want to come back. And so that's a good sign. I feel there's an artist in every single person. And we always do a lesson first, either watercolor or acrylic lesson, and then they pick a painting from the wall that they want to paint at that time. And I always try to tell them, it doesn't have to look like mine. And the kid, they get frustrated something, it doesn't look like yours. Well, it doesn't have to look like yours. And I want to explain something. I took a course one time, and the instructor is a very well-known instructor, gave a lesson on a new technique for me. And I'm painting away like crazy. And he comes around and he says, that's not what I taught, but I really like it. And that is, I'm just pointing that out because people understand instructions differently than given to you, right? So same with the kids, and that's why I understand them. I was teaching across the street at the school across the street when one of the parents, who was a support worker at the manor, said, I really like what you're teaching. And she was able to get some funding and asked me, if I'd be interested in painting some doors for the. I said, sure. That's how I got in there. And as you're painting these, because I've worked with special needs students, I had a connection with the people there who they'd come by and they'd say, that tree needs a bird. Okay. Or that palm tree. I remember sitting under that palm tree when I was a young girl with my mother, and I said, that's wonderful, and we'd have a conversation. Or I'd be painting and I'd get a back rub. I'd listen to Bobby Darin, which were the old type songs, but I enjoy that. And they'd be like kind of doing the step behind me, and I enjoyed it. I mean, I got paid for it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. The doors keep clients or patients from going into each other's room. It's more for safety and diversion, where the front exit doors are all painted like a bookshelf with a window. So they'll walk right by it instead of trying to get out, because they don't know the risk of their safety risk by getting out the door. And they were going into each other's rooms, taking stuff, bringing stuff in. And a consultant came in through the door and couldn't find their way out where the exit door was. And we all did a high five, because that's what you want. The doors, each one of the doors is of one of my paintings, or part of one of my paintings. So a little piece of me is there. When the school shut down, I shut down until I had my shots. There was no way we were going to do that. Around Easter time, I ran classes for about 5 weeks, and the kids came. And the kids that came were in their same bubble. We had sanitizer. They wore masks. We still had fun. And then everything shut down again. So I haven't taught. My first class is next week. Bunch of regulars, a few new people. The spots are filled so quickly because I don't want to have more than 6 because it's just easier. 5 or 6 is my favorite because I can get to everybody. Everything's personalized to them, and yeah. There's one I really, really like. And I used to live in Beardmore, Ontario, and this painting is from Lake Helen, all the way between Thunder Bay and Beardmore, and just the sky and the rocks. And I love rocks. I love painting rocks. I love painting trees. There's 3 or 4 that I won't ever sell because I love them. I'm set up at the Fenland Station Gallery, and I'm hoping for the winter, near Christmas, I'll be at the Kawartha Gallery. Other than that, my studio. My website is www.daisyart.ca. You can reach me there, or my email, daggy@kojiko.ca, which you can reach me there as well. If anyone's interested in a commission or lessons, or just want to see my art. Art is important to me because it helps me to focus. Because I have these squirrel moments, I find that when I am involved in a painting, everything else goes away. My stress goes away. My anxiety goes away. It's an outlet. a passion that I've developed that it works for me.